Hey guys, Shrek John coming at you another Diablo 4 video. So this one is kind of a bummer video to make. I was a little upset to actually make this video. I was all excited, as you guys can see in the the right hand corner of the screen here. You can see my Azeron. I use this basically as my daily driver for all video games and even some editing, stuff like that. I've got a lot of macros going on with it. So I also bought a Razer, one of these Razer Tartarus Pros, thinking that it'll work about the same, and it's about $50 cheaper than my Azeron. And unfortunately, this thing is garbage. Absolute garbage. So what we're gonna do is this video is gonna basically explain, I'll kind of run through how that device does work. It could potentially work for the game just fine. I'm gonna go through and talk about a couple of softwares you can use, how to remap buttons for you so that way you can use it if you do have a Tartarus. However, you can't do movement with the Tartarus. And the only way you would be able to is if you used a software called Rewasd, R-E-W-A-S-D. I bought the software and then go to find out I can't use it as a controller. I actually have to macro it out to button clicks and stuff like that. We'll cover it in this video here, kind of talk about it a little bit more. Unfortunately, it's just not something that's really user friendly. So in my opinion, TLDR, if you don't want to go into the rest of this video, if you have a Tartarus Pro, or if you're thinking about, as I just pull the cover off of this thing because it's so chintzy, if you're thinking about getting one of these, don't. It's a waste of money. If you're gonna get something like this, buy what I have, get an Azeron. This thing here, a lot better, a lot more reliable. All right, stay tuned. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. All right, so let's just dive right into it. Okay, we're just gonna go right into it. I don't want to waste anyone's time, as well as I don't want to make this super long video. I was really bummed out. I wanted to help. I had a couple of viewers that actually commented and said that they had this device here, this Tartarus Pro 2 or whatever, and they're like, hey, I've got this device. I had a stroke, I had a heart attack, or whatever the case may be. I can only use one arm, so they're disabled, right? I feel for them. Myself, devices like these over here on the right, this is why, these are nice. Also for myself, I'm starting to get kind of like arthritic hands, so that's kind of really nice for me because it helps me out like with movement. It doesn't wear my hand out. I can play for longer periods of time. It works great, right? So I get it. I'm like, okay, yeah, let's figure out how can we help those Diablo 4 players that kind of need a little bit more assistance to play, right? Like those that are a little bit disabled. What are your options? How can you really get into the game? How can you enjoy it? Because Diablo 4 isn't a game that's just made for strictly your hardcore grinder, blah, blah, blah. It's a great game for casual gameplay. It's monotonous for grinders that just want to just do something day to day that they enjoy, right? It gives you that little satisfaction, like one upgrade a day keeps them going. You know what I mean? That goes for everybody, especially those who are disabled. Even more people like that are disabled, who maybe they do have some like a caretaker, or maybe whatever the case may be. I'm not going to try to downplay or berate anyone, but they may really look forward more to playing video games than what we do, and we don't understand that, right? So my goal was to, hey, let's figure out how can I get something like this that I have down here working for them to make it better. So I got this Tartarus. I will not recommend it. It's a piece of crap. Overall piece of crap. I'm gonna go ahead, I'll pull up the one. You have to use the software with it, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie guys, the software is it's pretty horrendous. So let's pull it up. So as you can see here, if I pull up my Razer Synapse app right here, it should be right above me. You can see I have the Tartarus. I also currently have this Razer Naga Pro attached. Now I use the, hold on, let me unplug it. I actually use a Logitech mouse, G502 is what I use for gaming. I enjoy it. It's a perfect size. I have pretty big hands and it fits me fine. I know people with small hands, it fits them fine as well. I really like it. It's smooth, especially the wheel. The wheel is immaculate. This Razer Naga, this mouse I was using for a long time. And the reason why we're talking about it is because this Tartarus was terrible. So as you can see here, this is how it's set up. Now you could 100% remap these buttons to do all of your movement, like to not to do your movement, sorry, to do all your skills. So you can do this, go ahead and use this. And you can see here, if you look down in the right-hand corner here, yeah, you can see all those buttons. They're fairly easy to get. The spacing's a little weird on some of them, but not terrible. It's usable. So you could totally remap these and use this device to play Diablo 4. You would still have to use a mouse. So that kind of defeats the purpose of the video. Like, hey, how can you play with one hand and really, if you were disabled, enjoy the game more, right? Now, there's other ways to do this. Is this device still okay to use? Sure, but it feels chintzy. It doesn't feel very solid, in my opinion. The clicking of the buttons doesn't feel great. It's got a double click, so you can do, like, if it's a half press versus a full press, it'll do 2 actions. There's no clear divider on that at all, so it feels really bad. I tried using it. I guess I'm just spoiled because I've used my Azeron for so long now that this just didn't feel good. However, if you are someone who is afflicted and you are having a hard time with playing these types of video games, I feel for you, I really do. What I would recommend is you either get the Azeron like what I have, or get one of these guys. So this Razer Naga Pro, you can get it in a left-hand configuration or a right-hand configuration. You can get it wired, you can get it wireless. It's gonna run you anywhere between, it's like 120 bucks for the wireless, and I want to say it's like 80 bucks for the wired version, which is a little pricey, I know, for a mouse. But overall, I've actually had this particular mouse for 10 years almost. This is the first generation. This isn't a V2, this is a V1. I actually just sold, I had a backup for it, and I just sold it because I'm so in love with my Logitech one. But it's lasted, and it's great. Now, I will say that I have had to replace the face a couple of times because this 5 button for some reason keeps going out. You can see where its location. I don't know why, but sometimes it just randomly goes out, and I have to go and buy a new faceplate to put on it until it's fine. I get them through Amazon or through eBay. Super cheap, easy to do. But you can remap all these buttons. So if you are someone who is afflicted, I would highly recommend you get this, and that way you can still do your normal skills over here, and then you can remap all these buttons to do whatever you want them to do. Keyboard functionalities, certain mouse functions, movement skills you can do, left click, you can change your left click completely if it works better if you are disabled. I highly recommend you guys really look into it and figure out what works the best for you. But this one gives you lots of options. It also has a couple of other faceplates. You can get a 6-button faceplate and a 2-button faceplate. But this 12-button faceplate makes it to where you can play Diablo 4 very easily, because all you have to worry about is mapping your skills, your potions, dodge, mount, and then get into inventory, and then basically the end button into social, and that'll cover all of your aspects for you. So then if you are someone who's disabled, it'll make it a lot easier for you. You could literally play Diablo 4 with 12 buttons. So definitely take some time, look into it if that's something that you need. Also, if you're just someone who casually would just like to play the game with one hand, not have to think as much or do other actions, by all means, this is a viable option for you. What I recommend the most, though, is getting the Azeron, like what I have got showing here. The mapping is a lot better for the Azeron. Let's see if I pull up the Azeron software here. It's pretty decent. It's not the best software in the world by any means, but it's pretty decent. As you can see here, I've got it set to a joystick. I can go over here, and if I wanted to, say, change my the left action button, I can come over here and say, okay, what am I going to do? Like, okay, do I want it to be a keyboard, keybind, an X input, which is like a controller, right? What button do I want it to hit? I could totally remap it and put this whole entire Azeron as a controller. So then it'll work just like a controller. That works perfect for if you want to play the game with one hand. If you set your Azeron up 100% as a controller, Diablo 4 will recognize the Azeron as a controller. So then this will allow you to do all gameplay with one hand, as well as program all these buttons. And you don't even need it. Like the one I have, guys, it's got, I'll show you guys, it's got the, these little bars up here that I'm pointing to on the right hand side. You don't need those. They actually make a version that has those cut off. And basically, if I bring up this mapping, these buttons up here would be cut off, and you just have to remap them. And honestly, it wouldn't take but a second just to remap them to where you need to, especially because you have these 4 right here that are wide open. Super simple. You don't need that many buttons to play Diablo 4 at the end of the day. So it's definitely something I definitely would highly recommend. If you do buy one of these, by the way, I've got links down below. also an affiliate code for that. It's ASU. It helps out all of us at Aftershock United. That's myself, Darth Microtransaction, Veil Shot, Chosen, our website. That's where all that money's going to go to if you guys do buy one. So definitely keep that in mind if you're looking to help support us. But I would recommend this over going with anything else, just because if we go ahead and we pull up like the mouse here, right, like this is great and all. Here, I guess I can throw my face back on, don't really need to, but the mouse is okay, but unfortunately this keypad is a waste of money. I'm actually returning it. I won't have it. I was going to try to use REWASD. This is another software that actually works very well to go ahead and do remapping as well. So if I go ahead and show this to you guys, you can see you got my Azeron keypad here. I can remap all this with the software. It'll automatically change the key bindings depending on what program I have open. And these are all, I'm kind of showing you guys these just to introduce you to different methodology of how to play Diablo 4, as well as just for yourself if you're a gamer and maybe you don't know any of this information. But as you can see here, you can see, okay, this is Tartarus Pro. I can reinitialize it. So I can only assign a Tartarus Pros to a mouse or a keyboard. And that's the problem, is because when I assign it to a keyboard, you can see this layout is a keyboard layout. Obviously, this isn't that, right? But when we click on the Azeron, look at it's dedicated. It matches exactly what my Azeron has. I talked to the developers of Rewazed. They are not interested, and nor will they be adding backwards or compatibility for the Razer Tartarus Pro. I guess I don't know what the situation is, but when I talked to them about it, they're like, "Yep, nope, not in our purview, not going to happen." So unfortunately, this software is not going to be the saving grace, because a lot of people will actually use this even for their controllers to adjust their sensitivity on their controllers, even. And it's very, very powerful software. However, it's just not going to help you. One other thing though that I will note is you can actually see if I go ahead and you can see right here, this one right here is the Naga Pro, as you can see here, and you can remap this. If you do get this software, you can go ahead and remap the entire thing as well. So you can see, okay, this is my current Naga Pro if I wanted to consider it this one, and then I can actually pick a game and map out the entire flow of this. I don't want to do Fortnite, but anyways, if I go to Diablo 4, I could remap this and then select until it has 12 buttons, not just 2, and bada bing, bada boom, remap it, play the games just fine. So that's another option as well for software. And that's honestly, you could use this software. Let's say you don't like for example, this guy's kind of showing off a little bit of what I have here. You can see my keyboard right now. I have a Corsair. This is the K100 Air. It's the thin one. This is really, really good. I probably will never buy another keyboard again. This is probably my lifetime keyboard because I absolutely love it. It's low profile. It's all aluminum, feels great. However, the Corsair software is horrible. Same thing with the Logitech software. So once again, Logitech G502, this is my main one. As you can see here, I've got, I think you can kind of see it, but I've got 4 buttons there to program. I will not use their software because it's terrible. Logitech's gaming software, horrendous. Corsair's remapping software, horrendous. Razer Synapse, horrendous. RAWSD, much easier to use. You can do multiple layers, you can do multiple combinations and macros. I would recommend getting this software and remapping all your buttons for any device if you're going to be doing that. It'll just make your life easier. Once again, this is not something you have to do, and I'm not trying to push you guys in any direction. I just want you guys to be aware of how things work, how things operate, and if it's something that makes sense for you, the viewer, because I don't want to see you guys struggle out there. Trust me, I've been there, done that. I'm actually talking to a friend of mine, Kaylin, she's struggling playing the game, but she loves playing with us. It's camaraderie. It's a big deal for her. However, she's not a keyboard and mouse player. She's always played controller. She's not really a fan of playing controller with this game. So I'm actually working with her to try to get one of these so that way I can help her remap the buttons. She's gonna learn to play. Might as well relearn to play a game like this with a device like this. That's going to be better in the long run than something that is similar to this that doesn't work like you would think it would be. I know there's other products out there. If you guys know of any products like these that you want me to go ahead and try to do or review, I will gladly do so. send me leave a comment down below, send me a message. I'll check them out. If you know it can work as a controller, that's better, because I know I can utilize different softwares to make it work properly in this game if it can re-recognize this controller. But if it can't, let me know. I'll check it out. I know there's other brands of these, but I'm definitely loving the Azeron over anything else so far. That's gonna do it for this video. Hopefully this helps you guys. I'm so sorry. I was really hoping that I could get you guys a good guide on how to use the Tartarus Pro with Diablo 4 to really help you guys out, but unfortunately I can't recommend it. I don't recommend it. I'm gonna return it probably tomorrow because it just doesn't work for me. It's a waste of money at this point. And yeah, I'm gonna stick with my Azeron, and hopefully you guys go out and buy the Azeron as well, and then it'll work a lot better for you. That's gonna go ahead and do it for this video. Hopefully you like it. Hopefully you like and enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.